And Kopchai Chanapa. I mean, first of all, I have to say, this is probably the most Lao and Lao American people I've seen in one room in New York City since I moved here. It's very exciting. So my only purpose here really is to say thank you, first of all, to Chanapa, who, as we know, is a visionary leader. She is the one who keeps our feet on the fire and to the fire at all times. You know, Legacies of War only has one paid full-time staff member, and that is Chanapa Kambongsa. And this effort is based really on her work and her leadership in galvanizing the community. Community of Lao Americans, but really a community of people who have found a connection to Laos, whether they live there, work there, serve there in our military or in another capacity, have just visited, or found connections through other things like food, clothing, fashion. People, as Chanapa said, find a connection to Laos and it never really leaves them. And we depend on the support of volunteers. I want to call out in particular Cynthia Wen, who's here tonight. She's a fellow board member. And I think that Laura Lumpy from Open Society Foundation may be here, but we depend on funders like Open Society. You know, it's really incredible how much Legacies has done. I wanted to reference a man that was that Chanapa mentioned, Fred Branthman. He's the one who, as she said, collected the illustrations that served as the inspiration for Legacies of War. Fred passed away last year, or in 2014. Passed away in 2014 at age 72. He had lived in Laos during the war, during the 60s. And you know, Fred was he was depressed about a lot of things in the world. But I think one thing that really gave him hope was Legacies of War. And I think it's for two reasons. One is the community, as I mentioned, and also really I think for Fred and for a lot of us, Legacies is an example of how democracy actually can work sometimes. This is an example of a community coming together and focusing on an issue, bringing it to the attention of our leaders, and making a change. As Chanapa said, when we started doing this, the US spent about $2 million a year on the entire bomb removal program in Laos. That is a pittance. We said, that's not okay. And we started to pressure our representatives, to pressure the State Department to increase the funding. And so we got into the weeds of the administration, the bureaucracy. But you know what? Now people know about this problem. Not only do they know where Laos is, but they know what happened there, and they don't accept that it's okay. And I think it was really brought home to us when Hillary Clinton, Secretary of State Clinton, visited Laos, the first Secretary of State to visit Laos in almost 50 years. Not only did she visit Laos, but she actually focused on this issue, and she met a survivor of an accident. She talked to survivors, and she laid the foundation, I think, for President Obama's visit next year. As Chanapa said, he'll be the first US president ever to visit Laos, which is a huge milestone. But you know, I'm reminded of something that President Obama said back when he first got into office. It was around 2010, I think. And he was honoring a soldier who had served, a US soldier who had served in Indochina, in Laos during the war. And he gave him a medal of honor. And he said at that time, you know, it's been a while, but it's never too late to do the right thing. And I agree with him. I agree with him with respect to that service member and all have served our country, but I also agree with him with respect to this problem. So as Chanapa said, this is a problem that can be solved, and it's never too late to do the right thing. So I want to thank all of you for being here. I want to thank Channel Pop for friendship and support. I'm glad that the photographs finally came into focus. Vision 2020, you know, what can we say? We can even cure that. So I just want to thank everyone, and please enjoy the night. And I think I'm going to be handing it over to a fellow board member, Khan, who will take it away.